That's fatal.
So yeah, you know, a lot of people are pissed, especially that D-Butch, Connor, myself, AJ are in it, because they want some of these other losers that no one's ever heard of from NXT to be in the game. Why aren't these guys in the DLC pack? Well, it's because no one wants to play with them. That's why, okay? So, you know, at first it was like, man, should I be upset that these people, you know, are pissed that we're in the game? No, absolutely not. Fuck them. That's kind of where I stand. I'm pretty jacked up that we're in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And
That right there was Ty Schmidt from the Pat McAfee show, letting us know how he feels about the IWC, people that complain that Pat McAfee's friends are in the game as DLC superstars, as well as how he feels about the NXT superstars. How's it going, Fatal Family? I'm Fatal Steven, and today I'll be talking about this whole Pat McAfee DLC situation. Now, we will get back to that Ty Schmidt clip, but before we do, let's start from the beginning. It all started with Pat McAfee tweeting this out right here. Some of these bum-ass IWC folks are calling this the worst DLC of all time. That's rude, very rude. July 24th is not the drop date. Now, this caught a lot of us off guard. Now, I do agree there is a side of the IWC that is extremely toxic and they should not be catered to. But there's also a side of the IWC that is not really part of that toxic side and is just more concerned, and they're actual fans, and they just want to see the game that they pay money for every year to be better than ever, as well as constantly improving. So just because we call this the worst DLC pack of all time doesn't mean we hate the game. It's just that it's the truth. This is the worst DLC pack of all time because us as wrestling fans, majority of wrestling fans, want to play as actual wrestlers, not different athletes a part of your Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee also says July 24th is not the drop date. Now, that is what caught a lot of people off guard. Majority of the people online were saying like, oh my god, Pat McAfee doesn't even realize his DLC is dropping on the 24th, you know what I mean, yada yada. People were saying that Pat McAfee forgot that the DLC was dropping on the 24th. People were claiming that Pat McAfee was mad at the IWC, so he's delaying the DLC. A bunch of nonsense. Obviously, none of that was true. But what was true is that July 24th was not the drop date, and he was telling the truth about that. WWE Games then tweeted out on July 22nd, DLC 3 update tomorrow, stay tuned soon. Further confirming that what Pat McAfee was saying is correct and that this DLC was going to be delayed. Now, I got my hopes up a little bit and I'm wondering to myself like, okay, what could this mean? I tweeted out myself, this is what could happen realistically from most likely to least. Number 1, DLC 3 is just simply postponed due to issues. Number 2, DLC 3 swaps with DLC 4 instead. Something that would have been a really good decision, I think, and it would have not caused so much backlash because if we're getting the Pat McAfee show DLC last, we at least got all the wrestlers beforehand, and then wrapping up the game, we get the Pat McAfee DLC, which is like, okay, fine, no problem. Option 3, we get the Pat McAfee DLC plus some surprises like maybe the Wyatt 6 updated into the game since they technically have been messing with the Pat McAfee show. And by that I mean like because we already have the models in the game, they can just simply update them with Wyatt 6 attires. Number 4, we get the DLC 3 plus playable commentary team. So for option 4, of course, I meant like a playable Corey Graves, Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, just to go along with the Pat McAfee show as some additional superstars because their models, of course, are in the game. And option 5, we get DLC 3 plus some NXT surprises. Now, I listed this from most likely to least, so of course, option 5, I just did not see happening, but it would have been really cool to see some NXT surprises in the mix of the pack. WWE Games then tweeted out on July 23rd, since we have a couple of former football players in our next DLC pack, football emoji. They then tweeted out, we're now dropping the Pat McAfee show pack on July 31st with a usable football. That's right, this pack got delayed because they're adding in a usable football. Now, the fact that they're adding in a usable football for us is no surprise because every pack has included a new weapon. It's just the way that WWE Games went about it, being all ambiguous and mysterious as if they were going to reveal a bigger surprise other than just revealing a football. The football can be kicked at your opponents, and as Joe Mashup shows right here, you can also play catch with the football.
An agile escape.
Now, even though WWE Games says that the whole delay is happening because they were adding in the football, I don't believe in that. Now, I think the whole reason why this DLC pack got delayed is because it would have dropped the same time as the Call of Duty and WWE collaboration dropped. So instead, they postponed it an extra week just to allow this week to be all about the Call of Duty collaboration. That sounds like a more realistic option rather than delaying it for a week because of a football that's clearly already working in the game, so I don't buy it. Now, back to the beginning clip of Ty Schmidt.
Because they want some of these other losers that no one's ever heard of from NXT to be in the game.
So Ty Schmidt was pretty vocal on how he felt, and I'm going to be the devil's advocate and say that he was playing a heel character, so he didn't mean anything by it. He was just putting on a heel character. However, Carmen from NXT did tweet out, "God forbid fans want to play with wrestlers in a wrestling game, and put some respect on NXT." Now, she did add the little winky emoji, so she could also be playing into her character, but still, an NXT superstar was vocal on how she felt about Ty's comments. WWE Games then replied to the Pat McAfee show's clip where Ty said his comments with 3 laughing emojis, and as you can see, the post has been deleted because, man, they got backlash after tweeting out these laughing emojis. This was WWE Games' response to this video, by the way. Laughing at these grown men discredit the whole NXT roster and what it stands for. Laughing at your loyal fans of years giving solid feedback. What a shame. They're laughing because people are going to play and buy their stuff anyways, so unless we in a group effort stop buying their product, they are going to keep laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah, exactly. Stand on business, listen to the people who actually play your fucking games, stop laughing at them and making jokes out of their frustration and hiding away at WWE Games. So as you can see, WWE Games got quite the backlash for laughing at Ty's comments, and WWE Games quickly deleted the laughing emojis. Now, like I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I am a wrestling fan, and there is heels in wrestling, and if I can believe in heels on TV, I can believe that Ty Schmidt was putting on a heel character here when he made these comments. Did he have to include the things about the NXT superstars? No, everything else is pretty valid, but the NXT superstar jab I think was a little too much because, of course, us as wrestling fans playing the wrestling games, we want to play as NXT superstars or wrestlers in our wrestling game, like Carmen says. So what is the Pat McAfee DLC going to come with? Well, of course, it's going to come with Ty Schmidt, which definitely has the worst model out of all 4 of them. Fitting because he's the one who was talking the most. Darius and Boston Connor. When it comes to tire parts, well, what's the status said? I've seen the models, and from a creator standpoint, the creator superstar parts are terrible, so this pack is disappointing for me. And what he means is that the attires that are coming with these superstars are just generic and bad. I mean, look at Ty Schmidt and Boston Connor, who will be a tag team in the game called the Toxic Table. Look at their tires. When are we ever going to use the tire parts? Because Pat McAfee's friends are not actually wrestlers, this was their chance to sort of add in more attire parts just for the sake of it, because they could just make things interesting. Look at Post Malone, for example. He's never wrestled, but they gave him a unique wrestling attire. When it comes to the movesets, this pack does come with a bunch of movesets, thankfully. However, a majority of them you're probably never going to use, except the Hidden Blade and Darby Allin's Coffin Drop. This also explains why they removed Whitty Witterson's Hidden Blade moveset from the communications, because they were planning on putting it into this DLC pack. The other movesets you're probably not going to use at all, but if you want to see all the moves, link in description to the 101's video where he showcases all the new movesets, and you can be the judge for yourself. Now let's talk about their entrances. Is there anything unique with their entrances? Well, Pat McAfee, of course, has his regular Pat McAfee entrance, and we get the Pat McAfee theme song that we can also put in our jukebox. Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt, like I said, they are a tag team in the game called the Toxic Table, so they do have a tag team entrance. They made AJ Hawk's entrance look really goofy. He's just running down the ramp really fast so that runs the ropes. However, I noticed his theme song is Tyson Kidd's Raw to the Core, so if you're a fan of that song, you can use it for your creator wrestler as well in the jukebox. Out of all of Pat McAfee's friends, I think Darius has the best entrance. His entrance is actually pretty cool looking, and I could definitely see myself using this on my own car. My personal opinion, I think this DLC pack would have been a lot better if they filled it to the brim with creative superstar parts as well as movesets, and this could have just been like a moveset pack, because majority of us WWE fans are not going to be playing as these superstars. But if this pack came filled with a bunch of new creative superstar parts as well as movesets, then we can utilize all that into our own cause, and we would totally forget that the DLC pack only came with Pat McAfee as an actual playable superstar. I also think if they postponed this DLC pack as like the last DLC pack, the backlash from the WWE fans wouldn't have been so aggressive, especially if WWE Games didn't laugh, apparently. Let me know how you feel about this whole Pat McAfee DLC situation in the comment down below. Next up, let's talk about patch 1.13. For general, we got general stability improvements. The correct city location will be displayed in the WrestleMania 40 arenas. The trophy achievement, no visiting hours, will now unlock correctly. For audio, address reported concerns of the SFX for steel steps not playing correctly under certain conditions. Gameplay, address reported concerns of certain moves missing their target when performed. Address reported concerns of a weapon getting stuck when a reversal is performed on top of the ambulance. Characters, address reported concerns of superstars' attributes going over the maximum. Online, stability improvements. Universe, address reported concerns of championship stats missing. So very generic patch notes. Fortunately, it looks like online got some more stability improvements. I can confirm I did play some one-on-ones and the servers were a lot better, but multi-man matches still suck ass and they need fixing. There is a Rock action figure My Faction model Persona card, as well as another Hulk Hogan action figure Persona card. To get the Rock, you have to buy the RBD figure from Monday Night Wars at either Walmart or Target. And to get the Elite Hulk Hogan, you have to buy the same action figure at either Walmart or Target, and it will come with a locker code. I live in Canada, so we don't have Target here, and I think this is only exclusive to the States anyways, so my Walmart won't even have it. So I'm shit out of luck unless someone miraculously hands me the code or DMs me on Twitter a code. And finally, Call of Duty is having a SummerSlam event where if you complete the event and get all the rewards, you will unlock an operator that has the WWE Championship on with a WWE tank top, and it looks absolutely amazing. I will be recording that whole SummerSlam event and getting all the rewards, and then my editor will turn it into a video for the channel, so look out for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, notifications on, and I'll catch you next video. Fiddle Steven out. Peace.